Sick. All right, man. Welcome to the podcast. I appreciate you coming and taking the time to do this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So for those listening who, I think a lot of people listening probably already know who you are, but for those who don't, they probably almost certainly know some of the tracks that you've made before, because you've made some tracks on Spotify that I checked this morning and I was like, what the fuck? These have like a billion streams on them. It's wild.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Starving and The Middle with Zedd. I'm curious what the process is for making a track like that. Like, do you like go into the process being like, we're going to make a track that gets like a billion streams, and like, is there like any sort of, like I've always had this idea with pop music that people go into it like with this sort of social engineering kind of mindset, like how do we make this thing that's engineered in this like really specific way that is like the perfect ideal between everybody's tastes, and in to try and like get like a super successful song out of the other end of it. Is there anything like that when you're creating a song like this, or is it just kind of you just make whatever and just sometimes they get a billion streams somehow?
I've definitely experienced that kind of energy living in LA and and doing sessions here, but it's not everyone, you know. And with those two songs that you mentioned, we actually just were a part of the production side of it. We actually didn't like write those top lines, but from our point of view, is more so just like finding, you know, hearing a top line that was sent to us and going like, wow, this has like some special energy, and just trying to make the production as, you know, like as unique as we can, but also not like getting in the way of the songwriting. That's one thing that's tricky, is like coming from a producer centric world and like EDM, it's a bit flashy and like trying to make the production shine as much as possible. But in pop music, if you do that, you're often like overshadowing the vocal. So it's like a balance between those two things. But yeah, no, I mean, I just don't think in life it's ever good to have expectations around anything. I think you just try to make the best thing that you can, and see what happens. Yeah. Yeah.
I heard in an interview, I can't remember who the interview was with, but in regards to The Middle, I heard that the top line ended up going through like 50 different singers or something before you landed on was it Maren Morris? Or something?
Yeah, Maren Morris, yeah.
Yeah. What was is that true?
50 is definitely an exaggeration. I would say it was more like 10 or something, if my memory serves. But yeah, I mean, part of that was just that like we would try different singers and they didn't fit the song well. And then another piece of it was like some of them we were actually about to end up using, but then some political things happened with singers, and you know, there's just like business stuff gets in the way sometimes. But yeah, that one was very convoluted for sure.
Yeah, so I'm interested, because usually when I've ever done something with a singer, it's like the singer sends me like they do the vocals, they make whatever melody they're gonna make, they sing everything, and then I just take it and I go like, all right, that's the vocal I have to work with. And it never even occurs to me to try and like get another singer to sing somebody else's lyrics or whatever. So who or like how does the top line writing process work? Because I assume like if you went through 10 different singers, you basically like had someone who made the top line, the melody and the words, and then you got 10 and you had a demo version of that to send to a bunch of singers, and then they would sort of like sing it and send it back, right? So how does that like initial top line writing process work?
Yeah, well, like I said, with those songs in particular, we weren't actually there for the writing of the top line. But yeah, I mean, usually the way it goes is just a few people get in the room, and usually helps if like one of the top liners has a great voice, because no matter how good a top line is, if it's not sung correctly, no one can hear that it's good, if that makes sense. Like people don't have a good enough imagination, A&Rs or artist, they can't like hear through a bad singer. So oftentimes top line writers are good singers themselves.
Yeah, interesting. So
Yeah.
like top line writer is a specific job where all you do is you write. Is it like more the melody and the formants of the melody as well, or is it like they also do the lyrics as well?
No, it's lyrics as well. It's all that. But wait, I don't know what's obviously like a top line is incredibly important, especially in pop music. The melody, the performance, and the lyrics. But what's also extremely important is that the production fits the vibe of what you were going for. So oftentimes, like especially nowadays, I find that like good top line writers will work with good producers who know how to enact the vision that they had, because I just think it's the whole package, like
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
yeah, like if you take a song that's meant to sound really grimy but it just has an acoustic guitar over it, and sung like a folk, or performed like a folk song, it just doesn't work. So I think it's the entire package is important.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I'm familiar with like the production side of things, but I've never really worked in sort of the pop industry with writing, so I'm more just curious about like the general process with that. So in your experience when you've worked with top line singers and they have a great voice, they make a great top line, they sing it, it sounds good. How often do you go like, all right, we've got the top line, sounds great, the production's great, everything's all good. Now we're going to go find another singer to sing it? Or like, is there quite often the case where the top line that the original person wrote and sung will just stay there on the tune and that's the tune? Or is it pretty common to then go and find other people to re-sing it?
I just think it's all dependent on like who you are and what your project is and what you're trying to accomplish. So like if you are a producer in the pop world, let's say, I think it would be pretty common for you to find what vocalists would fit the song best. But with Michael and I, we like sing on our own stuff now, so very often like we're the ones that end up singing it. Yeah. So I just think it depends. Yeah.
Nice. So some people listening might actually
Give me
know
this
you.
Sorry. 1 second.
No worries.
Wonder what to do about this. Yeah, 'cause we have people here cleaning and stuff, but you can probably still hear that from here, huh?
Yeah, but it's a lot less bad. I can barely hear it from where you are now.
Okay, cool. For sure.
Yeah,
If
that's
is my
fine. I can
internet
barely hear it.
is my internet okay here?
It's like marginally worse than it was, but it's still fine. I think we can make it work.
Cool.
Cool. So yeah, a bunch of people probably know you then from your Singularity project. I'm curious, like, why you stopped that project and if you have any plans to continue it.
I mean, part of it was just that it was not supporting me financially, It's I enjoyed making music, but I went on a tour one time as Singularity, and I was extremely broke. And my manager at the time um, just literally stole all the money from the tour.
Oh,
Like we
geez.
went on like a 40-date tour, and he just stole it all. And that was
How is
just like,
that legal?
I mean, it's not.
Did you have a contract in place?
I don't know. To be honest, I've never been someone who looks out for the money side of things. I'm not like ever focused on that kind of stuff. I just kind of just trust people, and obviously in this case, it really screwed me over. But yeah, it was just like a really hard blow, and it kind of just like shook me in a way that made me kind of rethink everything, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, nothing quite like an extortion of all your 40-day tour money to make you rethink things.
Yeah, especially when you're like a young kid that's like really hurting, I remember when even then when I was living in like a place that cost me nothing to live in and I couldn't afford afford the cheap rent even. I remember seeing comments on YouTube that would be like, "You're selling out, you sold out," or something like that, and it would make me laugh because I'm like, this person clearly has no idea what it's like to be an artist. It's hard here, you know. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So, is your main financial support now coming from stuff like tracks that have a billion streams? Because I actually did the math on this earlier. I was like, how much fucking money do you make off that? And I googled how much a Spotify stream is, and it's like somewhere between 0.002 and 0.003 and 0.005 of a dollar, whatever that is. I don't even think it's 1 cent. It might be like half a cent basically. And then I did the math of like the amount of streams it has times that, which equaled $4.5 million. But then I assume the label takes half of that, which is like 2.2 million. And then there's 4 people on the tune, so I assume you split it
No,
4
there's
ways.
more than 4 people on the tune, but yeah.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are involved in that song, and then like you said, the label takes so much. Honestly, even the biggest songs in the world, unless you're like, you know, if you're Ed Sheeran or something and you write the whole thing, it maybe changes it a bit. But I just think you make a lot less than you'd think. That's what I would say.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you have to pay a shit ton of tax as well. Dude, I
Yeah.
remember like the first year that I did tax in America, it depressed me so much. I was like, why the fuck do I even do this? Because like being an immigrant, I have to pay extra tax as well, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, okay, so you can't live off a tune that has a billion streams.
I mean,
Dude,
not
if
as
you can't
much
live
as
off a tune,
you'd think. Like
yeah.
I feel like back in the day, in like the 80s and the 90s, if you had a radio hit, you're kind of just like set for life. But I don't think it's that way anymore.
Yeah, the pop industry seems mega sharky in that way. Like, even if a tune is generating like millions of dollars, it's, yeah, I hear the story so often of people just being like, I didn't see any of it, or I saw a very small amount of it.
Yeah.
So you've been like really into AI stuff lately, right? You're like telling me the other day that you're like massively into AI video stuff. How did
Yeah, and
you
like
get in?
increasingly audio stuff as well. Yeah. Addicted.
Yeah, yeah. How did you get into that stuff?
Um I've always been a technology person just as much as I am an art person. Like I just like the intersection of technology and art, which is why you mentioned singularity. That's like that comes from like the technological singularity. It's like my whole ethos has always been the merging of tech and art. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I just follow whatever the newest stuff is, and I was very into like Mid-Journey when that first came out, and I had a friend who was making AI videos, and I just became obsessed. It's extremely techy and nerdy to get into, but like increasingly as time goes on, it becomes more and more accessible. Like when I first started, it was you just get swamped with Google Colab notebooks that are so technical, you know. But I'm really excited for it to become more and more accessible. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So what kind of stuff are you doing with it at the moment? Like what kind of things are you trying to achieve with it?
Um, yeah, it's just like being able to. So, so one thing you can do that's really exciting is it's basically style transfer, right? So you have like a video, and a video is just made up of frames, and so you can use something called warp fusion that will convert each frame into anything that you want, right? So if you're into anime, you can make an anime by filming it first, which is we have some friends there. They have a channel on YouTube called Corridor, and they've been doing that. They have a series called Anime Rock Paper Scissors. That's really really cool. But yeah, I mean the possibilities are absolutely endless with style transfer, because it basically means that when you're recording a video, that video is basically just a skeleton. It all that, so which means that you can just use your phone to record something that could end up looking like Star Wars if style transfer gets good enough. It just means that you're just recording shapes essentially, and all the details can come in later, which is like so exciting to me because it basically means where we're moving is that someone in their bedroom will be able to make something that looks AAA quality in like a week by themselves,
Yeah.
which was just never possible.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the same is applicable to audio too, right? Like you could probably just hum a melody and then transfer the style of your humming into the voice. Well, you can already do it into the voice of basically anybody, but and you can also do it using dance diffusion, and like you could just hum something and then transfer it into something that sounds like it was sampled off a vinyl or electric guitar or a saxophone or whatever you want, really. Yeah, I definitely think the possibilities for that kind of stuff are pretty exciting.
Something I think about a lot is that really at the core of humanity is actually just ideas and stories. And, people just work through the medium that they have available to them. So in, the 1800s, a lot of people were writing books, but it's just because that's the medium that they had to express their ideas. But that's what's so exciting about technology is the better it gets, the more we can bring what's going on in our head and in our imaginations to reality faster. It's just so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the accessibility side of it because you'll have these people who are just interested in technology like yourself who all of a sudden don't need an entire team to do anything basically. And at some point, which is almost already actually, you pretty much have a professional programmer at your fingertips in the way of ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
You pretty much have a professional 3D visual artist at your fingertips with Warp Fusion. You pretty much have a professional sound designer at your fingertips with Dance Diffusion. It's like at some point, the assistance from AI is going to get so good that the combination of basically being able to employ a whole team of people with very specialized, insane, hard to develop skill sets is going to get so easy that I think the combination that people come up with using all of these different technologies, once it becomes accessible to literally anyone to do it, is going to be pretty exciting. Like you could develop a whole like AV show by yourself now, you don't need anyone else to help you with that at this point almost.
Yeah. I think a lot of people will hear what you just said and kind of get the ick in the sense that either it feels like cheating or it feels immoral or something like that. But I think it's important to realize this trend has been happening forever. Like that's what a shovel is, or a tractor, or any piece of technology that helps you do something is essentially that same thing. It's just expanding your capabilities and making you superhuman in some kind of way. I see it as an awesome thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. And yeah, I mean, it's going to come with some problems, like there will be less like for instance, now somebody who wants to go and do a show doesn't have to necessarily employ, a person to make video content or, anything like that. Like, yeah, there'll be some jobs that, stop happening quite as much. But if you think about the benefits, especially in other parts of life, like imagine having a personal assistant for your health, like a doctor, right? You have ChatGPT and you put on a watch or something, and at any given time during the day, it's like you need this vitamin, or you need this, you need that, you need to go for a walk. Like it'll just tell you like what you need to do to optimize everything. And also like therapy, like if AI gets good enough and you just have this personal therapist in your pocket all the time that can just help you with any problem that you're going through, or education. If a kid is having trouble at school, they can just already go to ChatGPT and be like, "Oh, I don't understand long division. Can you explain it to me?" And it'll explain it to you like better than almost any teacher could. So, I think the benefits that come with this, by having like an AI assistant just available to you at all times, that's more knowledgeable on all topics than basically anyone on the planet.
Yeah,
kind of outweighs any con. I
couldn't agree more. Something I think about a lot is if you zoom out enough on money and incentives and, why did money even become a thing in the first place? I just think it was a tool that made sense at the time to incentivize people to, just create the kind of world that we all want to live in. And what that world seems like to me is uh, energy becoming free, essentially, like, solar power getting, insanely efficient, and us creating, just making the world into the place that we want to be in, like a sustainable, incredible future. But I think we're getting to the point now where money doesn't even make sense anymore. It made sense to get us here, but now I think we're going to have to change the entire way that we see money. And I don't think it has anything to do with it that technology is evil or anything like that. It's more so like we've reached we've almost reached the place that money was pushing us toward. And yeah, I think we might need to just rethink money fundamentally.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, speaking of money and technology, what's your thoughts on crypto? Are you like into crypto or not really?
100%. Yeah. I The fact that the government can just print as much money as they want willy nilly is like a big issue. So yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
a
agree
crypto
with that.
fan.
Though my problem with crypto is that everyone talks about it being like this new currency that'll like take over, and when you use like this new currency, it'll be all decentralized and like all this shit. But no one's spending it at all. Like
Mm,
everyone who has crypto is just keeping it and basically treating it like a long-term stock option.
mm.
So if
I
you never
mean,
use it, how's it ever going to turn into a fucking
it,
currency?
that makes sense. I think in my experience, that's not true, I guess, because I just spend a lot of time on Sound XYZ,
Mm.
which is a decentralized place for listening to music and supporting artists and all that. And yeah, I mean, at least on Sound, it's growing every day. And I see Sound as like a combination of Patreon on one hand, because there's people on there that will buy people's music, um, just because they love that artist and they're trying to support them. It's like a mixture of that versus like the stock market where people will buy something to maybe make a profit in the future. So I don't know. To me, sound it represents like the future of music, in my opinion. Which is why we're putting out our new Gray EP there, and yeah,
Mm. How does it
yeah,
how does
people
it
are
work?
spending money there.
And can anybody upload anything to Sound?
So for the first while there, it was more curated by the people that ran Sound, but now I think anyone can upload on Sound. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So it's an NFT thing, right? Like you upload a track and then that track's representation goes on the blockchain as an NFT.
Yeah. And I mean, lately NFT has gotten kind of a dirty reputation with even just using that word. So most people are saying on chain now. But
Okay.
yeah, but I think what happened with NFTs and its reputation was really unfortunate, because I think there's a real beauty in creators being able to determine what their music is worth, um, and not just have Spotify and whoever determine that for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually reasonable. Oh Jesus Christ, my cat's attacking my nipple. Um, yeah, I agree with you. Though a lot of people say shit like, "Oh man, like smart contracts." At some point, let's say an AI that develops art spits out a piece of art, and you can look into the black box and figure out where it pulled all of its inspirations from to generate that piece of art. And let's say it pulled, uh, you know, influences from 50 or 60, or let's say for the sake of argument, a million different artists. And then somebody buys that piece of AI art for $1
Mm,
using NFT smart contract technology. It could technically, in theory, break that $1 up into a million pieces and pay everybody evenly. But
mm.
the truth is that type of NFT technology will just never scale to that size. The technology is just not good enough. It'll fail. at like
Yeah.
a small percentage of that amount of people.
I am definitely not trying to say that crypto as it stands is the answer. Like, I know that we just need to keep experimenting and trying new things. What I am saying though is I think the standard model makes no sense, and I'm just willing to just try new stuff and keep experimenting. That's kind of my stance, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with you. So do you think in the future then people will no longer trade currency that can be traded for goods and services in other places in exchange for their time or their work or their effort? Or like how do you think this is going to play out then if money is going to get deleted?
Um, I mean, I'm just such a techno optimist that I hope that we move into a place where, like I said, the cost of energy plummets to zero, which you can see. Just look at the price of solar. It just keeps dropping faster and faster. And then with things like ChatGPT and AI getting better and better, the cost of information is also dropping near zero. So as the cost of everything comes so far down, we might just end up in a place where robots are doing all the stuff that we don't want to do, and we can essentially just like make cool stuff without cost, essentially. I mean, most people think that's either impossible or that will take hundreds and hundreds of years, but I see that world being possible sooner than you'd think. I don't know, maybe I'm just like a
Yeah.
crazy optimist. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I could see the world going to that way, but I'm just curious what's going to happen at that point with, like, how does one then earn money to go and buy food, or does this just become do you think things like food and whatnot will just be sort of like, you get like a stipend from the government or something of a certain amount of hot dogs per month? Or
I mean, I don't know how this, what the actual implementation of this would be, but if you had an incredibly smart robot that runs off the sun that could just do whatever you ask it to do, it could go get you food or this or that. Like I know that
that's a
this
good
just
point.
sounds like weird and insane to people, and I don't know what the actual end implementation of this is, but it just seems like a problem that could be solved.
You just have like this little robot and you're like, hey, go get me like dinner. And it just goes, it just like travels around the neighborhood, just cutting down trees and shit. And like,
Yeah.
and then chucks it in its little robot belly furnace and just shits out a steak or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, possible. So what other projects are you working on at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, pretty focused on the gray stuff right now. We just made an EP that we're rolling out over the next few months, so really excited. That the next song we're dropping is actually a collab with Virtual Riot. So, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love Val. He's such a great producer.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
How did that work? Did you do it over Zoom or did you do it in person? Or?
No, we did it in person. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because he was in LA for a while, right? So
Yeah.
that's cool. And how was the writing process with him? Did you find that you guys did more of the writing and he did more of the production, or was it just kind of like everyone all in doing kind of whatever?
I would say we did like the base level of the song, like wrote the top line and got the production into like the place where it felt all right, like chord wise and all that kind of stuff. But we got in the studio with Val and he just like juiced up the production times 10. Like it just sounds like insanely fat right now in a way that isn't our forte, I would say.
Yeah, he's really good at that. Every time I've been in the studio with him too, he does the same thing. He's so fast too, like at getting something to sound like finished.
Yeah.
And basically like mastered. He can almost get it there instantly. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. So when does this come out?
I think it's the 21st of this month of September. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I look forward to it. And that's going to be on Sound as well.
It'll be on Sound XYZ as well as typical DSP stuff, Apple Music and Spotify.
Nice. Are you doing it through a label, or are you kind of taking care of the marketing side?
Yeah, we're releasing this whole EP through Lowly.
Okay, Lowly Palace.
Yeah.
That's like the Trap Nation thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, actually, the guy who does my art, funny, he did like all of the art for their YouTube channel for a long ass time.
Nice.
When they were putting up they put up a track it might have been every day, I don't know. But yeah, they're putting up a track for a long time, and he was doing all the art from that. Cool. So you're still focused on Grey stuff even after finishing that EP? You trying to make another one or something, or?
Yeah, just I mean, it's a lot of work to put out an EP. Actually, like I remember back in 2010, you just make an EP and then you put it up on SoundCloud. But now it's not like that. It is a full-time job trying to promote music. You know, yeah. So it's a lot of that.
Yeah, I agree with you. What's the like general promotion strategy that you're using for this one?
I feel like it's part of it is just like making, the typical kind of teaser stuff and stuff that looks cool using the song. But then another piece of it is just because we're so into this AI stuff, just like making funny content for TikTok using a lot of these AI things. Like we've been converting my voice to like different singers like Frank Sinatra or something and doing funny covers of pop songs, and I don't know, just like experimenting in ways that we have fun with. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the most ideal, or the thing that works the best anyway, right? Because I think if you're not having fun doing something, everyone can tell.
Yeah.
Versus
100%.
The opposite is kind of also true. Like if you're having a lot of fun with something, I think people can also tell. And generally people want to be around people that are having fun and they want to share that fun versus being around people who are not really having fun and just doing stuff because they feel like they have to do it.
Totally agree. I think, people's authenticity meter, that people are very good at telling authenticity for sure.
Yeah, agreed. Cool. Well, what else? What else are you up to these days? Any other interesting things?
I don't know, man. Yeah, just learning and growing, just trying to soak up the world. Just got a cold plunge recently that I've been obsessed with using. I go in there daily.
How cold is it?
It is at 34 degrees right now, which is 2 degrees away from freezing.
Is it? Yeah, freezing is 32, right?
32, yeah. Oh,
so
man.
how long do you go in there for?
I do like 10 minutes a day.
You're in it for 10 whole minutes straight.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's a lot longer than you like even the benefits go. Like I think the benefits stop at like 11 minutes a week. So I'm doing like 7 times more than you need to really, but I just enjoy it. Yeah.
That's wild. What are the benefits of cold plunge?
So one on the more like health side, I guess, one bit of it is surrounding brown fat, which is something that you get from like exposing yourself to really cold temperatures like that, and it just boosts your metabolism, I guess. But that's not really even why I do it. For me, I do it because it wakes me up more than any kind of coffee. I just feel like incredible after I get out of there. Yeah.
While you're in it, are you like hating it though?
No, I would see it. I had it at actually 44 degrees for a while, and especially when it was at 44, I just got like so used to it. But I set it down 10 degrees colder recently, and I would say it's a lot harder now, but it's the kind of thing that you get used to. Yeah, if you do it daily.
Yeah, every time I've like tried to take even just a cold shower or something, I'm immediately like, nope, fuck that.
Yeah.
And I used to go to this thing called Banya, which is like a Russian bathhouse in San Francisco. And they had a cold pool there that I don't know what the exact temperature was, but it was so fucking cold. And I would get in it for like less than 20 seconds and I'd get straight up. I was like,
I
fuck
actually
this.
just went to Banya for my first time in SF, and it was
Oh, yeah, Archimedes Banya.
yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that place is sick. I love that place.
Yeah.
Did you go in the sauna where they're like hitting people with the leaves?
Yeah. Yes. Man, that is a wild experience being in there. But yeah, the cold plunge, maybe it was just the day I was there, but it just didn't feel very cold to me. Maybe I'm just like a boss like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going in like something daily that's 34 degrees, then you're
34,
probably. But
yeah.
that, yeah, so you've been in that exact same one. Dude, I go in that shit for like 10 seconds and I'm like, fuck this, and get straight
I'm
out.
sure it depends on like what time of day it is. But yeah.
It probably was like the same. I've been there a bunch of times and it was always freezing. Like I always tried to go in it every time I went and just instantly was like, no.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. So all of this cold shit, it like came off of the back of Wim Hof's shit, like his
Yeah, I think
findings,
so.
right?
Yeah.
I heard a story he told. I think it was on Joe Rogan, where he was like, I tried to go, like he went into a lake, and he dug 2 holes in the ice of the lake, and wanted for some reason to go down one hole and then swim and come up the other hole for whatever reason. And he said when he did it, he couldn't find the other hole because his retinas froze. Yeah,
What?
like literally his eyeballs froze, and it stopped him from being able to see, and he had
That
troubles
sounds so
finding the other hole.
incredibly scary.
Yeah, I know. Like, why would you want to even do that? I guess like it's just extreme, and maybe like he just is at this point of going in the freezing cold for so many years, he's just like used to the extreme, and now he's like, I have to go more extreme. I have to dig a hole and swim to another hole.
I heard that guy walked up Mount Everest, like climbed Mount Everest without shoes on, just like in his underwear.
Yeah, he also did that, yeah. Which is, again, just like fucking wild. But yeah, apparently there's been a bunch of studies on him and shit, and he like never gets the cold, and like he's, yeah, really healthy.
Yeah.
There's
Pretty
this
wild.
other thing. I don't know where this is. It might be in Antarctica or something, where there's a place that you can go where you can change your temperature by, I think it's like 150 degrees or something like that. Like you can go basically from a sauna that's, I don't know, however hot that is, and then get out and jump in some ice lake. And apparently the difference in temperature is massive, and that can be pretty extreme, and people do it, I guess.
We have a sauna at our new place, and I've been doing that same thing. I'll go from our sauna is like 195 degrees, and then I'll get into the 34, which is it just shocks your body. Yeah.
That's fucking wild. Why? I didn't, fuck that. Are you like mad health conscious in other ways too? Like, do you do anything else like that?
No, not at all. Like, that's my thing. I'm just like an extreme person in general. So I'm like a work hard, play hard kind of person. So I try to offset that by running and doing that, cold plunge kind of stuff. But I definitely don't like eat as healthy as I could and stuff like that. No.
Yeah, same. I order way too much Uber Eats.
Yeah, same.
So do you do any shows anymore these days, or are you kind of like completely just in the writing world?
I mean, we're definitely going to be getting into shows more and more coming up, but yeah, I mean, we've never been like hyper focused on shows, more so on production and writing.
Mm.
Yeah.
How is it being in an act with your brother? I mean, I guess you get along really well in this case.
We like know each other really well at this point. I mean, when we were really young, we like didn't get along at all, actually. And it's so wild that now we work so well together. Part of it is like knowing each other's strengths and knowing when to push and when not to push. Like, I don't know. I'm just like kind of a hard person to work with because I'm very autistic in certain ways and have sound sensitivity, and I get distracted. So like having someone who knows all those kinds of things about me is really rare, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't really have a good relationship with my brother, so I can never really imagine working with him in that way. I kind of had the opposite experience. We were really good friends when we were younger, and then less so when we got older. But there's a few acts, I guess, who are brothers who work really well together. Like Cosmo's Midnight comes to mind, and also Disclosure, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I kind of envy
Yeah.
that. It would be really cool to be in a project with your own brother.
Yeah.
Have you guys always written music together, or is that something that you just started doing later in life?
When I mean, we've always been like interested in music equally, but I was more so the one who there's a thing with brothers where like you don't want to copy one another. So especially if you're the younger brother. So Michael's younger than me. So because I got into like making music first, I think he just thought like, oh, that's off limits kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
I feel that.
because he's just as interested in music as me, he would always, especially as I went off to college, he would like, I would send him a song and he would give me notes on what he think could be better. But it wasn't until like 2014 that we really started actually working together.
Nice. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And you both work on Ableton, or are you in different doors? Or
Michael's more so an ideas person, like because I'm so fast with Ableton, like it doesn't ever really make sense for him to be the one behind the mouse necessarily, but he's great at writing lyrics and he has really great production ideas. And yeah, I don't know. He's just more of a top level kind of um, ideas person. Yeah.
yeah, fair. So
Yeah.
the other day you mentioned to me your process for making a song is that you try and come up with the chords on the guitar first
Mm-hmm.
before doing anything. Is that your process for every song? I still haven't tried that, by the way. I still need to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I start every song with either, most of the time it's going to be guitar. Yeah. But sometimes it'll be like writing in MIDI on a piano roll or something. I just think like chords are music in a way. At least for me, it is. So I just don't find any reason to start a song unless I love the chords.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, I need to get more into that. I feel like that's also a good way to make sure that your song passes the campfire test,
Mm.
like the test of basically being able to play it and sing it on a guitar. And I feel like if you can't do that with a song, then it's not a strong song, really.
Yeah, I think so too. That's that's why it's always been hard for me to get into music that is purely based around sound design, because I just imagine trying to play that song on the piano, and if it's a boring song like that, then it's usually, at least for me, it's there's not much for me there. But yeah, that's, I know that not everyone is that way, but I really like the kind of music that will stand the test of time, 20 years later, 30 years later. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think like I obviously love sound design, and for me, it's a massive part of my music, and it always will be. Like the production, always like I can't really enjoy a song as much that has bad production, but I also think that always the songs that I've loved the most have had both, and
Yeah, exactly.
definitely the songs that I keep listening to like later in life definitely always have a strong musical idea that you can hum or play on a
Yes.
piano or a guitar or something.
There's, by the way, what I'm not saying is that like bass music can never be like that. I just mean like if you listen to an amazing Skrillex track or whatever, like you said, there's an earworm of a melody that you can hum, and that's what like makes it really work for me, at least.
Yeah, I don't think it's controversial to say that the best bass music songs have both. Like
Yeah.
I can't think of any massive bass music song that like tons and tons of people resonate with and connect with that doesn't have a really solid melody
Mm.
or harmony or vocal or something like that.
Yeah. I I just think more electronic producers shouldn't be afraid of, you know, really diving into the sections that aren't drops.
Yeah,
Ah,
totally.
Yeah.
So how did you learn like how to write songs? Did you have any education, or did you just kind of figure it out?
Yeah, no, I took like one guitar lesson when I was like 9 years old, and then realized that that's not like how I like to learn. I just started listening to music and trying to pick it apart and just playing guitar every day. I am such an advocate for ear training. It is crazy. It's the one thing that I'll tell all my friends is how much ear, training your ears to hear melodies and intervals and chords correctly is so important. So that's my thing that all my friends know me for, is just like having good ears and being able to like apply that. Yeah.
Have you ever used the piece of software Freakia?
No, what is that?
It was made by an old professor of mine at college. His name's Dr. Mark Bassett. I had him on my podcast as well. And it's like an ear training software where it gives you, you put a piece of music into it, and then it applies an EQ setting to it, but it doesn't tell you what the EQ setting is. And then you have to blindly like match the EQ basically.
Oh, that's interesting. That's like, yeah, so ear training for like mixing and sound design in a way. That's cool.
Yeah, definitely more for mixing and mastering.
There's this other one that is more geared towards the version of ear training I was talking about. The site's called Melodia. But yeah, if anyone's interested in learning
How do
intervals, and
you spell that?
Meludia, they're just like fun little games essentially around ear training for music, and they're really helpful if you finish the course. Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm going to try that out for sure. Because actually, I was thinking recently about possibly doing one of Berkeley's like pop songwriting courses or something like that. And I've asked some other people that have done it, so I've gotten mixed reports on like how helpful it was. But I definitely think I need to get better at the writing side of things. I feel like
Yeah.
production side of things is okay, but yeah, I think the like one of the main things that I have to improve on is that. So I'll give this a shot for sure.
Yeah.
Sick. Well, thanks a lot for coming on the podcast, man. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me.
Of course.
How can people find you if they want?
Yeah, I guess just typical like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So we're either, so on TikTok we're just Gray, Grey, but Instagram and Twitter it's Gray Music.
Cool.
By the way, I think it's so funny how many people think that music is in our name.
They're like, oh yeah, Gray Music.
Yeah, but no, our name is Gray, and it's Gray Music on those two. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Cool. Yeah, of course, man. Cheers.
Yeah, have a good one.